We are going to start this craft off with some polymer clay. I am using just about half of a pound. You may need some more, or you may need some less depending on the size of what you're making. Flatten the clay into a round once it's warm. Roll the clay out. It should be just about half of an inch thick. If it's less than that, it may become very brittle. Make sure the clay fits onto your picture frame. If you need to cut it to size or roll it out a little bit smaller, then definitely do so. Take a piece of clean bubble wrap and lay it across your clay. Start out by pressing it with your hands. Move on to a roller. Use your hands with more pressure in different spots and press down. Remove the bubble wrap from your clay. It should be textured like this and have areas that are raised more than others. Put your clay onto some nonstick paper, on a baking sheet, and then put it into the oven. While this bakes, let's make some bees. Brush out yellow felt with a metal cap brush. You should have some fluff like this. Put this off to the side. Now onto black felt. Remove any stickers, and then go and brush this felt out. You won't need much of this felt, so only brush a very small amount. You're only going to need it for an eye and also for the stripes on your bees. Roll your felt into a loose ball. Poke at the felt ball with a paper clip starting off onto a foam or a squishy surface. Move on to a hooked tool. Continue to work this into a ball. There are actual certain needles that do have little hooks on them that you can go and do this with, and it'll go and make a tighter felt ball. Roll it a small amount around in your hands and push any loose pieces inward. After you have a rounded shape, take a small amount of black felt that is pulled, stretch it into a line, and place it into the yellow ball. Use your metal tool to lightly press it in. Repeat this one more time. Ball up a small amount of black pulled felt. Roll it with your fingers to make an eye and then place it into the yellow felt. You can glue this in place as well. Cut a small strip of white felt. Fold it, and round the open end of the felt. Hot glue this to the bee. And also to keep in mind, if you don't feel like making these felt bees, you can always buy some online. Now take your clay out of the oven, let it cool, and paint it yellow. Before the paint dries, blend orange into all of the circular divots in the clay. Let the paint dry fully. Mark where this piece is going to sit on your frame. Put some hot glue down, and place the clay piece. This frame has an open back, so I'm going to make sure it is heavily secured. Glue your bees down. To make this craft even cuter, you can draw some little lines behind the bees to make it look like they're flying. Go around the circles that you painted orange with some slightly grayed yellow paint. Let this dry and move on to white paint. Let this paint dry and then put a light gray shadow under each and every one of your bees. Let everything dry. Now we are going to go and take a glass jar or a glass bowl and go and glue it onto our sculpture that we made. You don't have to glue it, you can always put it off to the side, but I feel like it looks best right in the middle. After this jar is glued down, make sure to press and hold it in place for a couple of seconds. And while the hot glue is going and cooling down, let's go and slice some apples. I am using Granny Smith's. These are just a more sour apple. You can use pretty much any apple that you would want to, but I feel like these definitely taste the best, especially with how sweet honey can be. And don't forget to go and slice a lemon. This is going to help the apple from browning. Now that the hot glue is cooled, let's go and fill it with some honey. I microwaved this honey just for a small amount, so it's going to be a bit runny and a lot easier to go and get into this container. And now you can go and dip your apples into this honey. You're going to want to use floral wire for this craft. Cut a piece that is just 4 to 6 inches long. After you've cut this piece, take a planter, and in my case I'm using a terracotta planter, and then bend it around. After you've bent this piece around, cut it, and then cut another piece after you've bent that piece around as well. The wire pieces should be just about 2 to 3 inches long. The longer that you leave it, the more versatile that your sculpture will be, and the more planters that you can go and bend these around. Mix polymer clay together. You can use normal Sculpty clay, or you can also use the Primo Sculpty clay as well. Create a skeleton with some of the wire that you have left over. that has a smaller oval at the top and a larger oval circle at the bottom, and fold the wire in on itself so it is not sticking out. Create loops at the bottom of the hooked pieces of metal that you made that sit on your planter. Connect these to the top of the skeleton that you have made so far. Use a pair of pliers to go and press them down. Roll up a ball of tin or aluminum foil. Press it into the skeleton. Make sure the ball of tin foil is flat on the bottom and has a curve to the top. Take more of the floral wire that you have. Measure it over the top of the skeleton that you've made so far. Cut off 3 pieces and make sure there's a little bit on both sides that'll overlap. Roll up another piece of tin or aluminum foil. This is going to be the head. Press it onto where the bottom of your skeleton body is. Cover the entire skeleton in more aluminum foil. This is going to keep everything in place. Make sure to fold it over on the bottom, along with also make sure everything is covered on the top. Press out the polymer clay that you had prepped to the side. Fully cover the top and cut off any extra that is on the bottom. Put the polymer clay onto the bottom and start to smooth it out a little bit. You can smooth out your sculpture a little bit as well, just to take out some of the large bumps. Stick the 3 pieces of wire that you cut into the bottom. Press it through nice and slow and make sure it doesn't go fully and totally through the bottom of your sculpture, but out the other side. Once all 3 pieces of wire are in place, start to give your sculpture some texture. Use a tool to create little marks on it. Think of the sculpture as almost a rock. After these divots are in, give your sculpture some spots since this is going to be a ladybug. For the second sculpture, take one singular piece of wire that is just about 4 inches long and bend it on both ends around your planter. Take another piece of wire and loop it in the middle around this piece of bent wire. Clamp it down with a pair of pliers. Create a bottom and also a head for your sculpture. Match these pieces up and cover it with tin foil to keep it in place. Secure it down with a piece of tin foil, and then cover it with polymer clay. Put polymer clay on the pieces of metal that are sticking out, just not on the looped portion of metal. Extend it down and pinch it out. These are going to be legs along with also arms. For the top arms, since they're going to be paws, you're going to want to make sure the hook is not covered with clay. Start to smooth out a face, give a little tail, and then put some texture into it like you did for the ladybug. Think of this sculpture as also being a rock as well. Put your sculptures into the oven. Let them bake. After they're baked, pull them out and let them cool down. After they're cooled down, start to paint them with some paint. Using acrylic paint is probably best for this. Make sure the gray paint is dry, and then start to dry brush on some black. To dry brush on color, what you do is take a little bit of paint, put it onto your paintbrush, dab it off to the side, and then lightly stroke on the top of whatever you're painting. The bristles should just very lightly touch the surface. It creates these lovely streaks. Do this on both pieces to create some texture. After both of the pieces are dry brushed, go back to the ladybug and paint the head black. Give it a little bit of a dry brush of gray, and then add some white on for the eyes of where the light would reflect. And then draw on some eyes along with also a mouth and a nose for the other one. This one's going to be a sloth. After the paint is fully dry, cover your sculptures with a little bit of gloss. This is going to protect your sculptures from the elements, especially if you put your planter outside. After the gloss is fully dry, you can go and put these onto your planters. These are cute little accents to add to your planters to also personalize them and just make them a little cuter.